allows you to.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Where are you at the moment?
I'm based just outside of Toronto.
Oh, you're in Toronto. I heard a little English accent. Or is
Yes,
that?
there is. I've moved around a lot. I grew up in the UK. So I just want to get something straight with the timeline. So it's a prequel series, but it doesn't seem to be set in the movie universe because it's around 2020 where you're teaching.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and even though our story or we use the third book as a jumping off point for the story, I'd say it's more of an origin story than it is a prequel. That the third book, which we were just luckily hadn't been made into a film yet, just serves an origin really well. It's a story about a family that he was very close to, a family that defined him, and a relationship that challenged him. So in terms of the universe of it, exactly, it exists before, even though it's based on one of the books, it exists 20 years before the character that people know from the books and the movies. And we lean on that. I think we hopefully there's a love that people have of that character that we kind of, we'll pull on, and you'll be able to see, hopefully, me grow into that person.
Did it kind of help with that to be able to portray the character that you didn't have to rely on Tom Hanks's portrayal of Robert Langdon in the movies?
It definitely helped that we were making something different, that like the mandate was, that we could look for clues in all 5 books and about who this person was and who he might have been at the beginning, and set it outside of everything. But I think probably we were both just looking at the same source material, which is the books. I mean, that's really, like, there's enough in there to occupy. I luckily, seemingly for now, have been able to avoid like any comparison.
So you read all the books before doing the part?
I did, yeah. I hadn't read them before getting the role, but we had some time before shooting the pilot, and I was able to read everything and study up and look for little clues, things I might use.
I was going to ask, did that help all? Because I know some actors like to avoid the source material and just go with what's in the script, whereas other actors like to use the source material.
Yeah, perhaps it would depend on the project, but for this, it just made a lot of sense that, I was lucky. Like, luckily, I had missed the books. Luckily, I just hadn't read them, so that I had 3,000 pages of clues about who my character might be, and that's a really rare thing. I don't think I would have ever avoided that.
It's funny that you mentioned clues, though, because Robert Langdon is all about looking for clues.
Right? Yeah. Maybe that's probably smart casting. I think I do like to. Yeah, sometimes I do think of characters as, puzzles. I look for the differences between me and them. I try to, find where we meet and where we're different, and try to find little nuance, like little points of interest and things.
So seeing as you hadn't read the books before getting the part, what was it about the role of Robert Langdon that pulled you into it?
Well, yeah. Have you seen the pilot?
Yes, I've watched the first episode.
The pilot, which is all I had at the time, it very much like puts the story in 2021 and this world reckoning we have between fact and belief. And I found that fascinating. And at the center of it, there's a character who has trouble believing anything. He just knows too much. So it's very hard to convince him of something that he doesn't know to be true. And I found that fascinating. I think that's, it not only makes for a good character, it makes for a compelling story now.
Did you find yourself getting involved in the clues within the scripts? So, before you get the next script, you were trying to piece things together.
That's an interesting. Yeah, I guess that's we have, like, as a cast as well, because obviously we've all read the books, that we do notice where the scripts are departing from the books, and we go, oh, right, is that what's connecting to that? Where might that lead? Yeah, there is a little bit of that, but mostly it's just oh, it's just such a big story, and we just get to very much live in the moment of each like little decision and each little thing that we discover. It's really it really feels like a race, the show, that we're just very much in each moment.
And you get into the action pretty quickly. I mean, most TV shows spend that first episode introducing the characters, getting you to that initial tease of the story, but you get right into it. Did that surprise you at all? Did it help with the momentum?
Yeah, it does. It does help with the stakes. I think there's also something just really fun about the genre, which I don't think we've seen a TV show of this genre, this kind of fantasy, action, comedy, drama. So something that kind of spans, it's sort of genreless in that way, but we haven't seen that for a while, not in TV anyway. And I think that's a big part of the excitement. It definitely helps. It definitely helps the stakes, but also I'd be reticent to say that the action very much lives in the story. Like it's like the more dangerous it is, the more ridiculous it seems. Like that like not as a not as a show, as a like to Langdon, like the more dangerous the things he has to do, the more clear it is how crazy what he's being asked of is. And so then when something turns out to be real or true, or a myth turns out to be actually based on fact, that's very confusing.
And then there's in the book, he's already done two mysteries. You know, he did Angels and Demons and then the Da Vinci Code and all that, and you're just starting from scratch. This is his first time being thrown in.
Yeah, that's right. And that's something we play with. We definitely play with this idea that he has never done anything like this before. He reads books, he studies, he might be kind of friendly, but generally he just doesn't go out of his small world that much. And so this is all very confronting. And luckily, because the story is about saving his mentor, a father figure, it's something that demands him to come out of himself. So I think we do play with that. We play with this idea that this isn't something he's done before. We don't start with Indiana Jones.
So what has been your favorite part of working on this series? I mean, the pilot looked really fun to film.
It was really great. It's funny that yeah, we're still in it. I do think the days where I leave, the most satisfied are that I think at the center of the story as well, there's just a very interesting relationship between Robert Langdon, and Catherine Solomon. And I won't give anything away about what the nature of that relationship, but there's a very interesting interaction that happens with them throughout the conversation between fact and belief, but also then between, can you trust love or not? Like somehow the writers have done a pretty amazing job of threading that through that conversation between reality and fiction.
And you get a hint of that just in the premiere at the dinner table.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you're still filming right now.
Yeah, we've got like 3 episodes left to do.
And everything's been good. Because if I'm right, you're filming in Toronto.
We are. Yeah. Everything's been good. We're very lucky. Our COVID team is incredible. Everything feels it feels very safe. It's not lost on us how lucky we are to do this and to be able to be around people during this time. Like that's a special thing that we're aware that we get to do, and we're lucky we just have a COVID team that allows us to do that.
Have there been any complications as an actor because I know there's a lot of stipulations here in Ontario about you can only have 50 people on set, and I know that the Bodies has been having an issue with that as well. So have there been any complications for you as an actor with all these extra rules in place?
There's something to get used to. We're all in masks right up until filming. that creates a little bit of a barrier, but I think we've gotten used to it in the sense that, like, for me, at first it made it slightly harder to connect with, I'm lucky I get to have my mask off sometimes and, in a scene, but to connect with crew and, and connect with everybody else, because so much is given away in the face, and that's how we communicate. And but I think now that actually just seems quite foreign to me. I think we find a way. I think what's amazing about film crews in general is that they're always an adaptive force. Like, there's always something they have to overcome. And this is just another thing they have to overcome. So they're able to just quite masterfully fold it in.
So I've got one final question for you, and I've just had the 2-minute one pop up. This is more of just you in the future. If you could do any role that ever, what would your dream role be?
Look, it is this. Like, I'm not. It sounds great for press, but it really is this. Like, I get to explore, not just have a lot of fun doing it, but get to explore big parts of myself in it. These are the things that occupy him are the things that occupy me. So I don't really know. I except, like, I would say I've always enjoyed the roles that I haven't been in control of, that the roles that I've been cast in despite myself, that directors or writers have seen something in me that they need that I'm not aware of yet. I find that fascinating. So, for me, it's not really often the role that drives me. It's the people who I'm working with and what they might see or what they might need me for. So I would just get excited to, whatever's next, I can get myself there. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I've never been one of those people who've thought I would love to dot.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of filming. I hope Toronto stays the same.
Yeah. Talk soon. See ya.
Bye.